If you've spent the last year calling out GEO as marketing bollocks, then stuck it in your headline anyway, what the fuck are you doing? This is SEO fucking what? I'm Nikki, and I've been in SEO for over 30 years, before it was even called SEO. I help people like you make money from your website by getting found on search. And today I'm talking about something that's really, really pissed me off. SEOs, good SEOs, people I like and respect, adding GEO and AEO to their LinkedIn headlines because they're tired of losing pictures to other people. I get it. I really do. But it's making everything worse. So here's what happened. I had a conversation with a potential client recently. They'd found me on ChatGPT, which, by the way, awesome. And they wanted to know what I'd done to get there. So I told them, SEO. And they said, well, yeah, but what did you do specifically to be in AI search? And I said, SEO. And they said, yeah, but you must have done something differently, right? And I said, I literally did the same SEO I do for all my clients. And to cut a long story short, they went with someone else. Someone on LinkedIn who offered AEO and GEO as well as SEO and charged almost 3 times as much. And you know what? There's enough business out there. There's business for everyone, so fill your boots, mate. Enjoy paying triple for the exact same fucking thing. And I posted about this on LinkedIn, as you do when you're annoyed and need to vent into the void. And the response has made me really sad. People I like, people I respect, SEOs who've been doing this for years, they admitted on the post and by direct message that they'd reluctantly added GEO to their headlines. One of them said, it took more thought than I expected, but they'd done it for clarity and positioning. Another said their skills better represented now. And a third one told me that they'd resisted for months, but finally caved because they were tired of losing pictures to people offering the same thing with new terminology. And again, I get it. I really fucking do. When potential clients are choosing someone charging more than you just because they've stuck 3 letters in their headline, the temptation to play the same game is enormous. But it really, really bothers me. If your skills haven't changed, how are they better represented by adding a buzzword? If you're doing the same good work you were doing 6 months ago, what clarity does GEO add? None. It adds precisely fuck all, except validation to the lie that GEO is somehow massively different from SEO. And if you've read anything I've written about GEO over the past year, and if you haven't, where have you been? Then you'll know that I think a big part of the whole concept is marketing bollocks. I called it out in a blog post called What the Fuck is GEO back in April last year. I went after the self-proclaimed experts in June. And in January this year, Danny Sullivan from Google, actual Google, pretty much confirmed what I'd been saying all along. GEO is pretty much SEO with a shiny new acronym. The guidance is the same. The work is the same. The made-up terminology is just marketing designed to separate business owners from their money. So when SEOs, people who absolutely should know this, and I'm pretty sure they do, add GEO to their headlines anyway, it pisses me right off. And it's not because I'm judging them personally. Like I said, I genuinely understand the pressure. When there are people out there charging thousands for AI optimization that just amounts to basic content structure, and clients are falling for it, staying principled feels like bringing a fucking knife to a gunfight. Every SEO who adds GEO to their headline makes the problem worse. Every single one. Every one of us who plays along validates the lie. We make it harder for clients to tell the difference between someone doing legitimate work and someone who's just repackaged the same services with trendy terminology and a price hike. I know I'm going to sound preachy here, and I hate myself for it a little bit, but I can't help it. Part of being seen as an expert in your field is not just doing the work, but educating people. helping them understand what they're paying for and why. When a client asks me what I did to appear in AI search results, I tell them the truth, good SEO. When they push back, I explain that optimizing for search engines is pretty much the same as optimizing for AI search. The fundamentals don't change just because there's a chatbot on the other end. When they're skeptical, I show them the results I've achieved without doing anything specifically for AI. Just the same SEO that works. When the SEO that works changes, then I'll change what I do, and not until then. And that's harder than just nodding along and adding GEO specialist to my invoice, but it's honest. And in the long run, it builds the kind of trust that keeps clients coming back, instead of chasing the next shiny thing that some dickhead on LinkedIn invented. When we add GEO to our headlines, we're not educating anyone. We're reinforcing the idea that there's something meaningfully different about AI optimization, something that requires completely separate expertise and justifies separate pricing. We're telling clients that their confusion is justified, that this really is a whole new discipline, that the hustle bros selling GEO services might actually be onto something, and they're not. We know they're not. And by playing along, we make it harder for clients to figure that out. So what's the actual fix here? What do we do when staying principled means watching those hustle bros hoover up the business? I'll tell you what I think in just a minute. Here's where I'm supposed to give you a nice, neat solution. The magic answer to competing with people charging more for identical services wrapped in buzzwords. And the truth is, I don't have one. If I'd cracked that particular code, this would be a very different kind of podcast. And I'd probably be a lot richer. But this is what I do know. Maybe the answer is being louder about calling this stuff out, making more noise than the grifters. Maybe it's writing more content that helps business owners understand what they're really paying for. More podcasts, more articles, more guest spots. Maybe it's finding better ways to demonstrate value that don't require playing terminology games. Because what I do know is that adding 3 letters to our LinkedIn headlines ain't it. So every time someone asks me about GEO, I have an opportunity to explain why the term exists, who benefits from it, because it's not business owners, and what the work actually involves. And that conversation might lose me some clients who want to believe in magic, but it might also build trust with clients who appreciate straight talk. And honestly, I'd rather be the SEO who told them the truth than the one who took their money and validated their confusion. Here's what I think we need to acknowledge. If we're being honest, this mess is kind of our own fault. The SEO industry's fault. The reason GEO grifters have been so successful is that the SEO industry has historically been absolute dog shit at explaining what we do. We've hidden behind jargon. We've made simple things sound complicated. We've treated our work like dark magic that only the initiated can understand. And that created the perfect environment for someone to come along with a new acronym and convince business owners that everything they knew about SEO was suddenly obsolete. Oh, you've been doing SEO. Oh, that's cute. But have you heard about GEO? It's completely different. You need a specialist. It's not completely different. It's not some revolutionary new technique that's different from what good SEOs have been doing for a decade or more. But when our industry has spent so long being deliberately opaque, can we really blame clients for falling for it? Adding GEO to our headlines doesn't fix this. It makes it worse. It's another layer of jargon, another barrier between business owners and understanding what they're actually paying for. So here's where I've kind of landed on this. I'm not going to add GEO to my headlines and my profiles. Not because I'm morally superior, I'm really fucking not, but because I genuinely believe it would make me part of a problem I've spent the last year complaining about. I'd feel like a hypocrite. And quite frankly, I've enough to feel guilty about without adding that to the list. Will it cost me clients? Probably. Will some of those clients end up paying someone else loads more for identical work? Almost certainly. But if I'm going to lose clients, I'd rather lose them while being honest about what I can do than win them by playing the same games as the people I've been calling out. To the SEOs who've added GEO to their headlines, I'm not trying to pick on you, honestly. I'm just sad. I'm sad that the industry has created a situation where good people feel they have to do this to compete. I'm sad that clients are being trained to look for buzzwords instead of expertise. And I'm sad that every time one of us plays along, it gets a little bit harder to push back. And I don't know how we fix this, but I'm pretty sure that adding more letters to our headlines isn't it. And if this resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Make sure you're following SEO fucking what in whichever app you're listening to right now so you don't miss the next episode. Share this with your SEO mates. Share it with someone who's thinking about adding GEO to their headline. Share it with a business owner who's about to pay more money for the same work. If you want to argue with me about this, do that as well. Find me on LinkedIn. Always up for a scrap. Until next time, get found, make money, and for fuck's sake, stop validating the hustle bros.